Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Crypto Scene Investigation, where we look at cryptocurrency projects and we decide whether or not we should be investing in them. Today we're going to be looking at a bunch of stuff. So I'm not going to be going over the basics of what Doge Dash is. You can look at other videos because there's probably plenty on YouTube about this project. But if you guys like what I do on this channel, please consider liking and subscribing. And if you do wish to comment, please read the little grey box down below. And if you do want to request a video, please consider becoming my advocate. You get one free video and you can vote for other projects which you want requests on. Cool. Anyway, so let's jump straight into it. So we're going to be looking at some facts, metrics, and stats. So the market cap says that it is 10 million, which is still incredibly small. And I believe that this will probably actually end up getting bigger than this, even though if we have a look at how the chart's gone, it looks like it's, kind of like dipped quite a lot since this moment. But to be honest, I can definitely see that this is probably going to be getting bigger from here. In terms of exchanges which it is on Gate.io, PancakeSwap, Bitmart, and LA Token. So being on Gate.io is a good time. This is their medium. One cool thing about the medium is that they do actually keep it up to date, which is good. So as you can see, so February, March, and then so March 16th and 2 days ago. Cool. So this is their white paper right here. Well, it's more of a light paper, but they call it a white paper, but that's okay. So we can see a little bit about the token utility. So here's some things about this. So they say that there is a 5% buy and sell fee, and we can actually confirm that via token sniffer and BSC check. So in terms of that, so 2% will be going towards marketing and 3% will be going towards a burn wallet. This sort of shows the actual distribution of the coin, which I think is gangstered as heck. So 65% community, 15% marketing, 10% rewards, and 10% team. So you could almost consider marketing and team as like the same thing. So it's about 25%, which is actually carp high according to our dear guy Max Mayer. They also want to be doing future games and other metaverse things. And this is their roadmap. Their roadmap also impressed me as well. One thing which I like about this is that, I mean, we can see other future things which they're going to be working on. So they say Doge Dash 3D, 3D NFT collection marketplace, cart NFTs, Doge card game, that sounds cool, and Sandbox Metaverse Doge build. So these guys are actually building a whole entire huge product, which I think is carp high / fabulous. I mean, we'll be looking at a little bit of the team later on. This is what they have called an investor deck. So they do actually have a gameplay trailer there. So what is Doge Dash? Talks a bit about it. It says Albank, but I don't know if they are actually on Albank, because usually they would appear on CoinMarketCap, showing Albank. I'll just quickly check CoinGecko. Yeah, so CoinGecko pretty much doesn't say Albank neither, so I'm not sure when that's going to be released, but there might be something coming up with that, but they are on Bitmart and Gate.io. So feel free to have a read through some of these stats here. Okay, pause the video to read. 3, 2, 1, gonna skip it. Cool, next section. So play to earn, I'll zoom out a bit more, and then we'll zoom in a bit more again. They talk a little bit more about the utility. They say that token holders can also take advantage of Doge Dash's single-sided and LP staking pools, allowing them to earn passive income while holding. See next slide. Cool. So they talk about this as the holder growth. So this was kind of, I believe, when this would have been done. I'll just quickly double check the document properties. So this was actually done recently. This was done. This was modified on the 25th of March. Which is interesting. So this is actually pretty fresh. I'm surprised why they don't actually show recent figures with this. But they say that this is the holder growth here. I will zoom in a bit so you guys can read that a bit better. Okay, so pause the video, then unpause the video. Cool. We're gonna be looking at the next section as well. Global adoption. Cool. Seen it. Next section. NFT collection, we're going to move on from that because, yeah. But after that, this was pretty cool. Doge Dash versus zombies. I'm like, hey. Hey, that's cool. This is one other thing which I thought was quite interesting. So mobile adoption. So over 300,000 total app downloads, over 2,000 5-star reviews on Android, and 500 plus 5-star reviews on Apple iOS. I did actually check some of these as well. They do have a bunch of 5 stars. Apparently it's a very nice game, kind of a bit nostalgic for some people. But yes, we'll go to the next section. So this is BSC scan. This is the actual token place for Doge Dash. So these are the holders right here. As we can see, the third top wallet is a dead address, and a few of these others surrounding them are actually on contracts. In other words, they can't be like gone and taken advantage of or manipulated, as far as we know, unless there's something hidden in the code. But then we have two other addresses here, which seem to be standard addresses as well. I'm assuming that this one right here is possibly something to do with maybe marketing or team. I could be wrong with that, but just bear that in mind. And then we also have one which says gate.io here, which will be a part of their own personal like liquidity pool, if you want to think of it like that. So nothing's really too crazy threatening here. I mean all of the ones which we could be concerned about are under 5%. In fact, they are actually under 2.5%. But I mean, if we actually minus that dead address, I'll just quickly do a pie chart. So this just gives us a bit of a brief, more accurate perspective. So the actual circulating supply is about 84, whatever number that is, and then you minus. And then so it's actually holding about 2.7%, which once again is still actually really not that threatening. So even though this takes up about 37% of the supply, yeah. So I hope that I did my math right. Next thing is BSC check. So buy and sell tax. So one thing to be aware is that these guys are likely not going to be listed on exchanges such as like Binance, maybe some of the other like tier 1 top exchanges. One reason for that is because from what I could see, they don't have anything in their code which can allow them to actually go and change this buy and sell fee. And another thing is that things like Binance wouldn't actually list them because of that, because they don't like tokens or coins which actually have a buy and sell tax, even though it's pretty good in principle, and I hope that Binance does open up their mind to that. Cool, so the ownership has not been renounced, so none of these things really look that concerning. I mean, this is 2.39%, and then it says that 97% is burned or locked. Keep in mind that this was done, actually, was that done today? No, that was done yesterday. Yeah, so it's not that bad looking. According to Token Sniffer, similar things as well, but a cool thing is that they've actually had no prior similar token contracts, even though they say that these are similar token contracts here. But also another good thing on top of that is that usually we'd see something like warning, these have been these ones above have been flagged as possibly bug, hack, or scam or whatever, but they don't say it for this one, so that is a pretty good time. They also say that out of the holders, about 26.24% is locked, and I'm assuming, yep, so it's actually talking about this one right here, which is in regards to Legion network vesting. So that is a pretty good time. Good on these guys. Ownership has not been renounced again. Liquidity, you can see these numbers here. So 3,000 BNB, 30 BUSD. In terms of the liquidity which is locked, it's 65% here in Trust Swap. However, we don't actually have a date for when it unlocks. I'm assuming that this is some sort of linear thing, because when I actually have a look on Moonarch, they actually say that a bunch of these various locks have been expired for like a certain amount of days. So I'm thinking that even though we can see through Moonarch that that 26% of the supply has been locked as well. Whether or not, like when it will be unlocked is a bit uncertain. They've also got about $1 million in liquidity, but also they say that, oh, okay, so that's the fully diluted market cap, cool. So they've got about $1 million in liquidity, which is pretty cool, man. I don't know if that liquidity is just pulling off the fully diluted market cap or anything, but yeah. So it also says that they have a max supply of 100 billion, and the non-burn supply is 86 billion. Which I could have just done it more easily and just taken that number. Yeah, we also can't really see anything which is too concerning. I mean, the only possible one would be ownable.lock, could be used to fake renounce. But from what I can see, I don't think that these guys are probably going to be renouncing at any point soon. So they've got about 6.62% in liquidity, and out of that liquidity, 65% of that is locked and 34% of that is unlocked. But the 65% is going to be locked for the next 5 days, which don't know what that means for the rest of us. You guys can try to figure that bad boy out. So we're going to be looking at some social metrics now. So according to the social metrics, minus 500 in the last 30 days. Do not know why. I mean, other than the fact that if we were to just briefly look at this and be like, oh my gosh, the price is down so heavily, man. So that's probably one of the only things regarding that. I don't really have many comments on that, but one thing which is cool, which I like about the Twitter, from what I could find, I couldn't find things which told me that these guys have purchased any followers or any paid bot like comments, for instance, or reposters. So that is a good time. I like that. Also, another interesting thing is that they actually do weekly AMAs / team updates. Like, how dope is that? I'm pretty sure like they actually just do that through Twitter. So in terms of AMAs and things, I mean, like, good on these guys, man. So Doge Dash CEO, and then so it looks like they probably have like a few other people here. Yeah, and then so and this looks to be a transcript from what I can see. I haven't gone and listened to this, by the way, because yeah, it's I don't really want to do that. Yeah, so they also show some of the people who will actually be joining it. So Sig, who's Stephen, who we'll be looking at soon. Sophia, Paul, Sander, and Jake. So a bunch of the people from the team. AMA, ask questions, all that jazz. You guys know the drill. Doge Dash for the last 12 months. So the token age, according to this, was actually done on the 9th of October. And then so there hasn't been a whole lot of research, and then as we can see, since October they did have quite a boom right around there, which probably would have actually lined up with their all-time high. And so in the last 90 days, as you can see, it sort of dipped in comparison to January. And then for the last 30 days as well, it's sort of, yeah. I think maybe one of those reasons, because I actually found this project, and I have seen it before. This isn't the first time I've come across it. But one thing which is quite interesting is that is a wacky setup when you hide it behind the play to earn button, the privacy policy and staking policy. You guys see that? Yeah, I'm gonna give them a few thumbs down for that one, because that's not a very well built website when you have it looking like that. Yeah. So it seems that most people are trying to find Doge Dash bots. My suggestion, I don't know. I don't have any suggestions regarding that. If you want a bot, you can bot. That is your own prerogative. But yeah, I would say just watch out. Watch out for like I don't know, getting in trouble from like the government, but also watch out for like the fact that there could be like viruses and stuff like that in these bots, because I mean there is some dodgy stuff which goes on the internet, folks. So be safe. So let's have a look at some of these guys. So Paul Caslin, I think that's how you pronounce his last name. So he's the founder of Doge Dash, and he's also been a creative director for Viacom and a creative director for MTV UK. So in terms of those experiences, good. It's a good time. Next person, Sander. What do we know about him? So over 500 plus connections. He's been with Rabobank, Doge Dash, and he's, I don't know what Kiwimi is. Yeah, so in terms of his experiences, so for the team, it says that he's CEO. Although if we actually do click onto the About section, so yeah, so CEO, okay, so founder and CEO, gotcha. Okay, cool. He's also been a co-owner of Centagon, and he's done a few other things, so you guys can feel free to hunt him down if you wish. Sophia, she's only got 60 connections, which is pretty small. And we can see things from 2008, so she's been a creator and actress and owner, and now she is a head brand ambassador. So I would say that because of her experience in Luma High swimwear, she'll probably like understand a bit more about branding than probably a bunch of other folks, so that's awesome. Jake, barely know anything about him. All we have is this one thing. He's the social media manager, which isn't bad. I mean, it's pretty good. I mean, probably most people could probably do that, which is cool, especially if they can do it well. Chief Technology Officer, we don't have any history from this guy. Like, how can we trust that, you know, like, there's a good product? But we have seen from some of those other things that it is a good product because of the actual game, which has been officially done, right? I mean, this is the game playing in the background, and you can also play it on the browser, I believe, as well. So, yeah, I personally haven't played it, but I have seen it played, so, yeah. So he's the Chief Technology Officer. It would be nice if we did see some more experience from him, because we don't currently know right now. And our last one is Sam, and he's been doing a bunch of things, actually. He's actually got quite a fair amount of history. Where is Doge Dash on here, though? That's one thing which is confusing. I'm going to Control F Doge. Doge is not in here. Don't know what to say about that. But he does do, so according to his sort of role as a part of the team, he is a game dev. But yeah, he doesn't even say Doge Dash on his thing, so that's a bit concerning. It sort of gives me a little bit less trust in, I guess, the overall project. This is the YouTube channel as well, if you guys want to see these things. So they do actually have other AMAs as well, and on some other channels. So in terms of AMAs and interviews, wonderful. These guys are doing great. Oh, and I added this thing. So you guys know CSI is work in progress, likely inaccurate project checklist. I decided to, do like a bit of like a exchange rating thing. So I've added a few things and changed a few things and all that jazz. So this will help us identify when we come to here, whether or not, like they have a trusted central exchange / DEX listings. So I'm going to put them as a 7 for this one because they have got both gate.io and they've also got, they claim to have Albank, but also Bitmart as well, because Bitmart is sort of around the kind of same category. So I'm going to give those guys a 7 in that regards, because Gate.io is a good boy. Cool, so let's rate the rest of it. Functional and clean website / media. It is pretty clean, to be honest. Pretty functional, other than that sort of thing right behind there. It's not bad. I mean, it'd be nice if we could maybe have like a link to like the white paper or something, or like at least call it a light paper, because that's kind of more what it is. So we'll give it like a 7. I feel like we could see more things on here, like a roadmap and stuff like that. But if you're just like a general person / child and you like the game, then you can play it. I think you have to be 18 to play it though. Or 18 to like quote unquote invest in it. So this game is an 18+ game, alright? Don't let your kids play it. I think, once again, this is not confirmed advice. No financial advice. Anyway, whoa, did you see that? What the heck? Anyway, next section. Any threatening big boy holders? Nah, these guys were pretty clean. Yeah, I'm not sure what would give them a 10 in this regard. Yeah, if you guys want to know what would make it a 10, Doge Dash, contact me. Let's talk. Didn't see any pay bot comments, so these guys get a 10 for that. Is the coin / distribution fair? Oh, sorry, this is for big boy holders. Actually, they do get a 10 for that, yeah, because they don't really have any crazy big boy holders. Yes, and the token distribution. Sorry, no, I'm gonna bring that down to 9. And the token distribution, I'd say it's pretty good. I'll give them about an 8. Solid roadmap. The roadmap was good. It would be nice to see which ones have been ticked off, and maybe like, I don't know, get like a little bit of media / art to be able to see that. Maybe not just AMAs and having to listen to 40-minute videos in order to find out. So I'll give them about a 7, because they did actually show Q3 and Q2, so that was a pretty good time. Is the team docs with LinkedIn's? To some extent, yes. I'll give them a 9 for that, because even though some of them had like kind of like missing informations, you can see faces, and chances are that like you can like hear them and all that jazz. So yeah, although it would probably be nice to see maybe a bit more like face-to-face interview things. But we do have a bunch with our dear boy Paulus. So yeah, interviews and AMAs, I'm going to give them a 10, because they just keep going, keep on rolling. Although I don't think that they have too many like face-to-face ones, but I'm still going to give them a 10 because they still have a wealth of information. Relevant team experience, do not know. I'm going to give them a 7 for that, because any noble partnerships, don't know of any, so I'm going to take them as not applicable. Dude, 4.5 star? That's really hard to get a 4.5 star from me, so good job, guys. 75 out of 90. If you've enjoyed this video, please consider, the old liking and subscribing, And if you wish to comment, please read that thing down the bottom. If you want to join my Patreon, please become an advocate or something like that. And then I can, do special shout-outs for you guys and all that jazz. I do have one patron at the moment, and I don't do shout-outs because he's like, nah, you don't have to do it for me, so I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah, so anyway, guys, that is my video. Much love. Fare thee well. Sorry that it peaked right at the end there. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, and... Love that. Alright, bye.